Another day, another video. Just kidding, it's the same day, which is why I'm wearing the same clothes and look exactly the same. Shocking, I know. Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Today is going to be kind of a part 2 to my last video. Today I am going to be talking about things that I wish I knew before I started nursing school. If you don't know, or if you haven't watched my last video, I am a freshman in college. Specifically, I am a nursing major. So, if you want to know more about nursing school, maybe you're gonna be a nursing major or you're thinking about it, stay tuned for this video. And if you're going off to college and you haven't watched my last video about 20 things that I wish I knew before I started college, I'll have that link either on the screen or in the description, so check that one out as well if you're interested in learning more about college. So, the first thing in my little journal of things that I wish I knew before nursing school is, number 1, you don't have to know what specialty you're interested in before you start nursing school. A lot of times in your nursing classes at the beginning, people will ask you, oh, what specialty are you interested in? It's okay to say, I don't know yet, I'm still considering my options, because it's very unlikely that you will be dead set on your specialty from day one. Your specialty desires may change. You may think you hated a specialty that you actually end up loving, or vice versa. So it is okay to not be sure of what specialty you want to go into. Number 2, this is more of a recommendation from me, and that is to take nursing classes and get certifications in high school. This is not necessary. You don't have to have any certifications to go into nursing school, but I think it has been very beneficial to me. Let me explain. In my high school, we had programs where you could get EMT certified, you could get CNA certified, you could get PCT certified. These are all different medical jobs that are pretty much entry level, so you can get certified as a high schooler. Typically you have to be a senior because you have to be 18, so I would recommend, if your school has that as an option, or if there's a nearby school that has that option, looking into it and doing it, because I think it really prepared me for nursing school. Anything that you can learn in high school is beneficial because you already have a foundation of knowledge and you won't be as stressed when you have a million other things to worry about. You also don't have to get a full-on certification like I did. You could get CPR certified, you could take a health class, you could take a biology class, you could take an anatomy class. All of those things will lead up to helping you in college. Anything that you can learn in high school that will take some of the pressure off in college, I recommend doing. Number 3 is to get a good study habit of studying bit by bit throughout the semester rather than cramming right before finals or a test. Professors will recommend that you spend X amount of hours studying based on X amount of credit hours that the class is worth. Do you really need to stick to that? For example, they'll say, oh, this class is worth 3 credit hours, you should spend 9 to 12 hours studying for this class alone every week.
Let's say you're in 18 credit hours. You will have 6 classes a week that you should be spending 12 hours studying for. That means every day of the week except for one, you're spending 12 hours studying on top of going to class, and on top of eating, and on top of having a social life, and on top of sleeping.
That's just not plausible in my mind. Try to study as much as you can over time throughout the semester rather than trying to cram a whole test information right before the exam. Basically, try not to procrastinate. If you do, it's fine because I do it sometimes. Number 4, also going along with studying, you don't have to study like everyone else. Even though I mentioned it in my last video, I still think it's really important. Perhaps you could just study the way you like to study and they could study the way they like to study. I know, groundbreaking idea, I'm a genius, thank me later. All of this is to say that just because you see people studying a certain way that looks different from how you study doesn't mean you're behind, doesn't mean you don't care as much, doesn't mean you're not as academically talented. It just means you guys learn differently, and that's fine. Number 5 is don't get caught up in the nursing school stress culture. Now, what I mean by that is there is a culture of stress in the nursing school, at least at my college, and people are constantly talking about how stressed they are and how much anxiety they have and how nervous they are for the next test and how blah 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 class is freaking them out and all this stuff. And it's like, when you hear that, you want to be like, oh my god, I'm so stressed too. Or if you're not stressed, you want to be like, what should I be stressing about? Chances are, if you're not stressed and everyone else is stressed, it's fine. You might think, oh, if everyone else is stressed and I'm not, there's something wrong with me. But that's not true. You don't have to be stressed just because other people are. And if you're not stressed, enjoy it, because there will be a time when you are stressed. If you're not stressed, just maybe try to help the people around you, or just keep doing what you're doing, because it must mean you're doing something right. Hopefully. Number 6 is to find out if you are squeamish early. There are fields of nursing that are less intensively involved in blood and poop and vomit and pee and surgery and whatever, but pretty much every specialty is going to involve some gross something along the way. You're gonna see something you didn't want to see. If you find out you're squeamish, I'm not saying you can't be it in nursing school, but you may want to dive deeper into that. It is a profession that involves a lot of nasty things sometimes. Beautiful things also, but a lot of nasty things sometimes. And if you can't deal with blood, and you can't deal with poop, and you can't deal with this and that, you may want to consider something else. Not saying you have to, but do some self-exploration and see what's going on there. I would hate for anyone to spend 4 years in nursing school and then realize, uh-oh, this is disgusting and I can't do it. Number 7 is to think about study abroad early. I don't know what it's like at other colleges, but at my school we have a very big study abroad program, and for nursing students especially, it is quite specific. Because of the way nursing school is laid out, you may have to go at a certain time, so it's kind of a decision that's big and that you need to make early on about whether or not you want to do it. Look into it early so that when it comes up quicker than you expect, you're ready. Number 8, lastly, I want to talk about direct admission or direct admit nursing schools. If you don't know what direct admit is, it basically means typically colleges have 2 years of gen ed, so general education courses, and 2 years of nursing specific courses. So your freshman, sophomore year, you're just doing math, science, English, history, the things you would have to do. And junior and senior year, you're doing the classes that are more relevant to nursing. This usually means that you have to apply in the end of your sophomore year to the nursing school and either get accepted or not. Whereas direct admit, you apply as a senior in high school to the nursing school, and then you start nursing classes from freshman year and you do them along with your gen eds for all 4 years. Direct admit has pros and cons. Pro is if you know what you want to do, it's a great option because you don't have to worry about whether you'll get accepted or not later on. And if you don't get accepted, you don't have to worry about switching schools. It's a good safety net for knowing that you're for sure in the nursing program and you don't have to worry about a switch later on. The cons are, if you apply to a direct admit nursing program, you will be taking nursing classes probably from the start. If you're unsure of nursing, that might not be something that's good for you because you may waste your time in classes that you end up not needing. So if you change your major, you will have taken nursing specific classes that you didn't need. So I would say if you're unsure, perhaps consider more heavily which one you'd rather go to. Direct admit, where you're starting from the get-go and you're guaranteed a spot in the nursing school, or the alternative, a not direct admit school, where you have a little more time to figure things out if you're unsure, but you may have to switch schools to go to the nursing program, etc. That is everything I had on my list of things I wish I knew before nursing school. I could probably talk more about this in the future if you wanted, so if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and if you're interested in me making another one of these, write down in the comments below asking for a part 2 because I might just make one. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to try and keep up with my crazy posting schedule, consider subscribing. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you have a great day. Bye!